several very special guests to welcome us to Toronto, to Ontario, and to Canada. First, I want to recognize a group of AdvaMed member executives all through this audience, but particularly here to my left, because these are CEOs that run global leading medical technology companies based in Denmark, Germany, Japan, Canada, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, the United States, and dozens of other countries. Many do business here and they serve patients globally. We're joined this week by 4,200 executives from 46 nations and over 1,500 companies. I'm pretty sure that few, if any, expected this year's Toronto conference would become AdvaMed's largest ever medical technology conference. Yeah. In perspective, that's larger than every previous conference, be it Boston, San Diego, Minneapolis, Philadelphia, Washington, Anaheim, Chicago, by more than 20%. I want to single out a past AdvaMed chairman, Nadim Yared, and past chairman of our conference, Carol Neubauer. These two served as AdvaMed's chairman and as the chairman of our conference portfolio back in 2017 when the decision was made to bring this conference to Toronto. Their leadership in terms of decision making was what led to bringing this conference to Toronto and to host what is our first ever conference held outside of the United States. Many, and I do mean many, thought it was a mistake to leave the US. But I think we're all seeing right now, Nadim and Carol, you did a hell of a good job. After we hear from Premier Ford, Delia Blanchard, the immediate past chair of MedTech Canada and VP Service for GE Healthcare, will introduce Minister Vic Fedeli. I know many of us have plans to attend a 9:30 IQVIA moderated session entitled How MedTech is Helping Reduce Patient Backlog in Canada, which features James Brody, the co-chair of this conference and chair of the board of MedTech Canada, general manager of Canada for GE MedTech, as well as Nicole Deckert, the CEO of MedTech Canada, and Minister Sylvia Jones that's here with us. She's the Deputy Prime Minister of Health, and so it is my privilege to introduce a very special guest, Premier Ford. Premier Douglas Robert Ford Jr. is a highly respected Canadian public servant and successful businessman who has served as the 26th and current Premier of Ontario since June of 2018. Premier Ford has led Ontario's Progressive Conservative Party since March of 2018. He represents the Toronto riding of Etobicoke, and even though I come here all the time, I don't know if I get that right, which is the North Legislative Assembly of Ontario. With his brother Randy, Premier Ford co-owns Deco Labels and Tags, a printing business operating in Canada and the United States. Premier Ford was a Toronto City Councillor from 2010 to 2014, and in 2018, he successfully won the party leadership election of the Progressive Conservative Party and led the PCs to majority victories in 2018 and 2022. He is known as a champion for business and innovation and a great friend of the medical technology industry, also the high-tech industries, and I'm sure we'll hear a few of his others. But I will tell you this, many of us have said, we wish you'd come to the U.S. and run for office in our state. Ladies and gentlemen, Premier Ford.
Boy, well, good morning, everyone. And Ray, thank you for that very kind introduction. I got to tell you, it's called the great state of Etobicoke. Great state of Etobicoke. It's amazing there. And when you were speaking, I thought, boy, everyone was surprised how big this conference is. I'm not surprised because we have the best and the biggest of everything here in Ontario, and I'll get into that and tell you the reason why. But first of all, welcome everyone, and we're just so proud to host each and every one of you. And I'm so thrilled to be here today alongside, I always say I have a couple champions, all three of them here, is Minister Fedeli. He travels around, all around the world. I think, where did you just get back from? Germany and Belgium and everywhere else. I don't think you're ever here, but, Because of Minister Fedeli's hard work, and alongside Minister Jones, my Deputy Premier, Minister of Health, and also Minister Tangri, that takes care of all the businesses here. The majority of the people are employed by small, medium, and large companies. But thank you, Nina, and thank you for everything all of you do. You know, because of their hard work and the way we've set up the conditions and the environment, we've seen massive investment here in Ontario just over the last couple of years. We've seen over $45 billion in the EV sector, which is going to hit 50. You're telling me, Vic, about $20 billion in the technology sector, which is so important, and life sciences that I'll talk about, over $5 billion, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But there's so many great things. We always say, you know, you create the environment and the conditions for companies to come here, they'll invest and they'll thrive and prosper and grow, and so will their teams thrive and prosper and grow. But there's one thing in the way anywhere in the world, and it's called government. And we don't like government. We like getting government out of the way, cutting red tape and regulations, you know, making sure that companies can thrive here. And I'm so happy to be here for the annual MedTech Conference. Before I begin, I just want to thank Nicole and James and Dahila and the board of directors and the whole team at MedTech Canada and ADVA Med for inviting me to speak today and for putting this event together. This is the first time this conference is being held outside of the United States, as we heard from Ray, and we've reached a historic attendance record, and hopefully Ray will get twice as large next year as well. And I'm told that this conference draws more than 45 different countries from around the world to Toronto, which is incredible. Wherever you're from, I should say, I want to welcome you to this beautiful province and hope you enjoy your stay here. Here in Ontario, we're working hard to support our thriving sciences sector. From local medical technology manufacturers to global pharmaceutical companies, universities, and research facilities. I always say number one attraction to Ontario are the people. We have the brightest, smartest people anywhere in the world. We're the only jurisdiction that I know of that graduates 70,000 STEM graduates each and every single year. Those are pretty staggering numbers. The industry makes a significant contribution to our economy. The numbers speak for themselves. Ontario's life sciences sector is the largest in Canada. It employs more than 72,000 people across 2,000 firms, generating more than 12.5 billion in exports each and every single year. Beyond its economic impact, the sector plays a crucial role in keeping people across Canada and around the world safe and healthy. That's why, since our government was first elected in 2018, we've worked hard to grow the industry even further. At the heart of it all is improving our business environment and creating the conditions in the environment for companies like yours to thrive and succeed. And I always say, I love companies that come here and make money, because I know in our business, when you make money, you reinvest it into your people, into your infrastructure, into the technology, and you grow the pie even larger. Since 2018, our government has reduced the cost of doing business in Ontario, are you ready for this, by $8 billion each and every single year. Not just $8 billion, every single year. We've cut red tape and regulations, saving people and businesses over $1 billion and 1.4 million hours in time every year. You know, I think we're the only jurisdiction in North America that has someone called the Minister of Red Tape. And all he does is, you know, get input from people like yourselves on how to make things run more efficiently. I'm a big believer in Lean Six Sigma, lean methodologies. We focus that at our company and companies around the world. But there's no better place to focus on lean methodologies than right here in Ontario. Again, I think we're the only jurisdiction in North America. We have a SWAT team of 24 black belts that go into every single ministry and start driving standardization across the board and doing Kaizen events and looking at better ways of doing things, and we're going to continue driving efficiencies in the government. We're making energy more affordable by reducing electricity rates for small, medium, and large-sized businesses by 15 to 17%. And we're keeping taxes and fees low. Our government, and I don't know of any other government that's done that, our government has never raised a tax on people or businesses. In fact, we reduce taxes and fees and put money back into your pockets so you can invest in workers and growth. I'll tell you, when we came into office in 2018, the way I can describe it is we walked into a bankrupt company. And it was bankrupt. It was a total disaster. Revenues were $150 billion. We grew those revenues to $214 billion. And I always say there's a few companies, not too many companies, that run a $214 billion a year operation. That's the way we run the government, is like a business. So there was an increase of $64 billion. And even during a pandemic, and guess what? We didn't need to raise taxes. I'll tell you the reason. The previous government chased 300,000 jobs out of this province because of high taxes, high regulation, high energy cost. We did the total opposite. There's over 860,000 more people working today than there was 6 years ago, because we've seen the increase of companies coming here, approximately $70 billion of investment coming here. Unlike anywhere in North America, Ontario now is an economic powerhouse around the world. Alongside these initiatives to improve the province's competitiveness, in 2022 we introduced a new life sciences strategy. This strategy, the first of its kind in over a decade, serves as a roadmap to attract more investments to the industry, eliminate barriers to growth, and establish Ontario as a global biomanufacturing and life sciences hub. And friends, our plan is working. Since 2018, Ontario has attracted more than $5 billion in new investments into the sector and more than 5,000 new jobs. Companies like Sanofi and Teva in Toronto, Abbott Point of Care, and Siemens Healthineers in Ottawa, global pharma companies like Moderna, Roche, and AstraZeneca, and like local companies like Omnia Bio, Tridel Healthcare, Synaptive Medical, and Baylis MedTech, are not only choosing to invest in Ontario, they're choosing to lay down roots right here. That's a vote of confidence like no other, but we can't take this success for granted. I always tell everyone, just keep going, never ever stop. And there's one thing about our government, we're all workers. When I say workers, we're going 18 hours a day, and Vic, he messages me every single night at 9 o'clock, and I probably call him back at 11 that night, and he sends me a list, 365 days a year. It doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving or Easter or Christmas. He sends me a list of companies that are investing here or growing in Ontario. It is absolutely staggering. And then once a week, he comes over with a binder like this, and he shows me the 5 pages of multi-billion-dollar investments coming to Ontario. So thank you for your great work there, Vic. We know that there's more work to be done to make Ontario a global life sciences hub. That's why today I'm thrilled to announce an investment of $146 million for the next phase of our life sciences strategy. Now, Minister Fedeli will get into the details in just a few moments. I will say, though, that phase 2 of the strategy will build on the tremendous success of phase 1. It'll be an all-of-government approach. We'll have everyone involved to enhance the province's biomanufacturing capacity, to unlock new streams of capital that help entrepreneurs turn their ideas into prototypes, into market-ready products, to improve the adoption and uptake of Ontario-made technologies in clinical settings, and to continue to solidify our province as a premier destination for life sciences investments. As we roll out this strategy and to ensure Canada maintains its advantage as a leader in healthcare innovation, we're also going to continue to advocate for faster drug approvals. Currently, patients in Canada wait almost 2 years to access life-saving breakthrough medicines, a year longer than any other developed country. In my opinion, that is totally unacceptable, and we're going to make changes. As the new chair of the Council of Federation, one of my top priorities will be doing everything possible to give Canadian patients the same timely access to life-saving treatments as patients in the rest of the world. And this is what I'm talking about, red tape and regulation. And, you know, that's what drives me crazy about government. You know, it's just delay after delay. Folks, we're running this province like a business. There's business time and there's government time. And government time is too long. So we're going to make sure we knock down every single wall to make this happen. And I know all the other premiers agree with me, all 12 other premiers in the provinces and the territories. Friends, we want to work with you, with industry, with workers, with our university partners, and to make Ontario the place where medical breakthroughs are discovered and developed into innovative products and services. For the benefit of everyone, our government will always be here to support you. I want to thank you again for inviting me to speak today. I hope you all have a great conference here. And if you need anything at all, just go online, get my cell number, text me, and I guarantee you I will text you back. But thank you, and God bless each and every one of you. Thanks so much.
It's an honor to be with all of you today. And on behalf of MedTech Canada, thank you so much, Premier Ford, for joining us today at the MedTech Conference and for bringing such welcome news about Phase 2. Your government has been a tremendous champion of the MedTech industry, and your announcement today further exemplifies your commitment to grow this critically important sector in Ontario. Through initiatives like the Ontario Life Sciences Strategy, the Ontario Together Fund, and the Surgical Innovation Fund, it's abundantly clear the government recognizes the immense patient and health system benefits of medical technology, as well as the fact that the industry offers significant economic growth opportunities. It's my pleasure now to introduce our Ontario Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, the Honourable Vic Fedeli. Minister Vic Fedeli is a lifelong entrepreneur, successful business person, author, and philanthropist. I knew I was going to mess that up. Serving the Ontario government as Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, and Chair of Cabinet. His business experience led his firm, Fedeli Corporation, to be ranked 34th in 50 best places to work in Canada in 1989, and it also served him well when he was elected for 2 terms as Mayor of North Bay from 2003 until 2010. As Mayor, Vic focused on fiscal prudence and economic development, restoring hope and solvency in North Bay. In 2011, Vic was elected to the Ontario Legislature and is now serving his 3rd term as MPP of Nipissing. In 2018, the PC caucus unanimously elected him to serve as interim leader of the official opposition. Vic served 10 terms on the board of North Bay and District Chamber of Commerce, served as director with Global Vision, and has served with many agencies, boards, and commissions, often as chair. He is married to local humor writer Patty and is always seen in one of his trademark yellow ties. Welcome, Mr. Fedeli.
Thank you, Delia, and good morning, everybody. What a wonderful bit of news to hear that this is certainly one of the top MedTech conferences that you've ever held. That's just absolutely fabulous, Ray. Really, really thrilled to hear that. Now, before I start, I have to say, you heard Premier Ford talk about that list, that pipeline list. Well, that is a solid multi-billion-dollar list, but none of these leads, none of these final deals ever happen until we meet in the Premier's sunroom at his home, and when that big mitt comes out to shake your hand, you know you've got a deal because he's the best closer the province has ever had. It's a pleasure to be here today with all of you at this 2024 MedTech Conference. As you've just heard from the Premier, from Ray, there's truly no better place for this to be held than right here in the province of Ontario. You know, we have a very rich history of excellence in the life sciences field, from the discovery of insulin to developing the first cardiac pacemaker, detecting the gene responsible for cystic fibrosis, and driving advancements in stem cell research. Ontario-made products and discoveries have helped countless people around the world live longer, healthier lives. With over 70,000 new STEM graduates graduating every year, Ontario produces one of the most highly skilled life science workforces in the world. In addition to being home to nearly 50% of Canada's top research hospitals, 10 of the world's top pharmaceutical companies conduct their critical trials right here in the province. And as we look to the future, Ontario has a unique opportunity to leverage its core strengths and rise to the industry's call for innovative solutions, which is why today, as you've heard from the Premier, our government is proud to announce the launch of Phase 2 of our sector strategy, taking life sciences to the next level. I want to take a second and thank three people that I've seen in the audience from our Life Sciences Council, Maura Campbell, Jason Field, and Nicole Deckard. Thank you for this absolutely leading work that you've done. This first of a kind in over a decade life sciences strategy, it sets a bold vision to establish Ontario as a biomanufacturing and life sciences hub. Very ambitious goal include the growing employment sector to 85,000 positions and doubling our venture capital investments to $725 million annually by 2030. So we've got a long way to go and a great team to do it. But seeing the energy, the talent, and the positivity here today, there's absolutely no reason why we can't achieve these targets. So since the launch of Phase 1 in 2022, we've made incredible progress in driving economic growth across the sector. Now, Phase 2 will build on this momentum by advancing our government's vision to establish Ontario as a leader in the next generation of life sciences discoveries. So here we go. It contains new tools like $24 million Life Sciences Scale-Up Fund, which will boost domestic manufacturing capacity while helping prepare innovators for procurement opportunities in Ontario and, of course, beyond. That's number one. We're helping a health innovation pathway which will proactively identify the most promising technologies and implement these innovative new products across our own healthcare system. To enhance our biomanufacturing capacity, we will support our world-class research hospitals and post-secondary institutions by matching federal funding with up to $46 million through the new Ontario Research Fund. And to bring game-changing and life-saving innovations to market, this is all in my favorite, we will be launching a new Ontario Wet Labs program. With program details and eligibility, we'll release that very soon. But this is going to help reduce the barriers companies are facing when looking to access safe lab spaces. And that, of course, is in addition to a new $5 million Quick Start initiative offered through Clinical Trials Ontario, which will help companies start health trials in Ontario faster. And as a global leader in radioisotope production and innovation, with 12 CANDU reactors and world-class research expertise, we have a unique opportunity to become the #1 North American supplier in the global nuclear medicines supply chain. With critical investments in partnerships with leading Ontario universities and companies, we will continue to support reliable access to cutting-edge treatments for cancer patients and expand Ontario's nuclear medicine advantage. So this next phase of the strategy will truly take the life sciences ecosystem in our province right to the next level. Looking beyond advancements to R&D, our government is also unlocking new streams of capital for innovative entrepreneurs. On top of the approximately $40 million we've already invested in life sciences through our Venture Ontario Fund. As we stated the last time we met, we're also dedicating an additional $40 million to help life sciences companies and biomanufacturers create the life-saving technologies for tomorrow. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government remains laser-focused. You heard it from him in his role as the chairman of the Council of Federation. We are going to be laser-focused on fully unleashing Ontario's economic potential in the life sciences sector, making sure that medical breakthroughs of the future are always possible right here in Ontario. So thank you for your ongoing commitment, and have a great MedTech Conference.
Thank you, Minister Fedeli. Our industry has such a fantastic working relationship with you and your ministry, and you're such a great champion of the MedTech in Ontario. MedTech Canada has been so excited about this conference coming to Canada for the first time ever, so that we can showcase the amazing things happening in Canadian MedTech ecosystem. And we're thrilled that Premier Ford and Minister Fedeli are joining us today to see firsthand some of these new technologies. I'd like to encourage everyone to explore MedTech Campus over the next few days, and particularly at 11 a.m. today, please join us at the Canadian Pavilion for its official opening, which I know Minister Fedeli will be joining us at. Once again, thank you so much, Premier and Minister, for joining us today and bringing us such great news. We look forward to continuing working closely with you and your government to ensure patients and clinicians have access to life-changing innovation that can save and improve lives while benefiting the province's healthcare system. Thank you all.